what a blessing it is to be able to trade and travel. And what allows me to do this is preparation and having a really great trading setup on your platform. So today I'm going to be going over how to set up your platform, what indicators I use, and what I have on my options trading platform so that I'm prepared for that day and I can figure out, okay, what the targets are, how to plan my day, my week, my month. And it all starts off by setting up a great options trading setup as well as great charting setup. So today I'm going to teach you that. I hope, make sure to share with people if this blesses you. Like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, put your notifications on so that you don't miss any lessons. We are always on the same team, just trading against those hedge funds that's kind of like trying to trick us, right? The whole system is rigged to take our money. This is going to be a two-part series because it's a lot to cover, and I know a lot of people don't have that long of an attention span, so I'm going to try to make this really quick but as thorough as possible. How to set up your trading platform on TD Ameritrade, or a lot of people call it TOS. Well, you have to actually download TOS from TD Ameritrade website, the platform, onto your computer, and then from there we can get started. So when everyone sets up their platform, this is what the screen looks like, right? So when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, what do I do? So the first thing I look at is under trade. I'm going to teach you how to set up your platform for options trading. So you go to trade, and then let's say we put in a ticker like NVIDIA, right? So you put in NVIDIA, and then over here so you can put in options chain. So we're just going to open up one and see how it has last, net change, bid, ask, and then strikes 4. So you can only see 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, right? Well, we can change this to 10, however many strikes you want to see for each expiry, right? So this is good when you want to look at different types of expiries and compare prices and different parts of the option. Or you can look at the whole thing when you're researching, price targets and whatnot and implied volatility and everything, right? But where is that, right? So we're going to have to change these settings, right, to where you can see all the Greeks. So here's the settings that I have. So we're going to go to, here's options chain and filter. I'll show you what these are. Filter, I don't leave it on anything because I want my own filters. I want to look at it myself. I don't want them to limit me. Spread is for particularly different types of spreads that you could just look at as a whole, but we'll go over this in a little bit. And then we want the setup where you can see all your implied volatility or your Greeks, but instead of using their custom settings, I'm going to show you a really good setup where it'll help you for options, right? So you go to customize, right? And then over here, you can look up a column. So you can put, okay, so right now it has nothing, right? So you want to learn what the percent change of your option is that day. So we can add that. And then we want to look at the ask size and the bid size. So it's kind of like, when you're trading stocks, you have the bids and the asks, right? So you know how many people are buying versus selling. And then from there, you want to get all the Greeks. So now the important thing is implied volatility. Actually, no. Okay, so you want all the Greeks, right? So we'll start off basics. Delta. And then go to add. And then next to delta, I put theta. Right? And then next to theta, I put vega. I'm going to teach you why in a bit. Next to vega, I put gamma because the one next to the other affects the next one. And then I put in, delta, theta, vega, gamma. Okay, and then implied volatility, right? And then we're going to put in open interest. So open interest, this is really, really important, right? And then we're gonna move this up. So we'll put this right next to the percent change. And then we also need volume for that day. And then we want to put the volume right next to the open interest in this order, and then we're going to press OK, right? So now you can see all your Greeks. So this that we just made, right, I have to switch it the reverse way. So, okay, ask, bid, ask, right? And then implied volatility. So once you get this set up, right, then you go to OK, and then you have to save it. Okay, so now you save as, let's just say my main options setup. Okay, so we save as there, and then if you ever want to look at it, now it's like right here, right? So now we can see all the indicators that we need on one shot of the important ones that's going to really affect the pricing of your options, as well as help you find price targets, the direction, everything like that, right? So, okay, so once you set your options chain up and you know that, okay, I can look at 10 strikes, right? So that I can compare, or you can look at all of them, and then you can scroll up or down. And then down here, it tells you your option statistics for that day, just for that day. And then over here, options time and sales, it's kind of like, you know, like stocks. Like you can see all the time and sales. Now you can change these settings if you want, but this is standard. Standard's good enough, you know. I use just the standard because it doesn't affect me too much about what I'm seeing here. I just want to see the biggest quantity. So what I do is for that day, there's these little arrows, right? I want to see the biggest quantity for that day, the biggest ones, right? Because sometimes you see like these thousands, and you want to see where the big money is betting on. Does that make sense? Okay. So once you have your options chart set up, then I go to charts, right? And this is the part where I use it the most, but I don't go to the single chart. I never use my single chart. I go to flexible grid. So when you go to flexible grid, you can look at, you know how like I told you guys I trade with like 15 charts there all the time, and then I divide it by sector. So what I do is I start off from the flexible grid, and I go to, let's say, okay, we'll just go to Apple, okay? Now your settings right now it has nothing on it, right? So what I do is, okay, well, what is all this? So first I want my main chart set up to be proper, and you can go to studies, right? And then you're gonna go to edit studies. So I'll tell you the ones that I use and that helps me the most is, so you want your volume bars not to be blue, right? You want it to be red and green so that at least you know, okay, is today more sellers or more buyers? So we're gonna look for volume, average. Okay, volume, or average volume. Okay, volume. Okay, here it is, volume average, right? Add selected. And what you have to do is you have to raise it up, right? And then I look at RSI, add selected, right? And then you can add any other indicator you want here that you use. And then you press save set as, let's say, see, look, it instantly turned red and green now, right? So, and then you save. So let's just put, actually I don't want to save this yet. Okay, actually no, I could set, I don't want to save it yet. So then I'm going to put okay, right? Because I'm not done. Then you don't know what the future looks like, right? Because it's just showing this area. So you see this left and right arrow, you click that and go to change right expansion settings. And then over here, depending on the time frame, you might need more bars, but I usually put about, let's say, 100, right? because bars to the right, you want to see more space so that you can project future outcome. So you could set different time zones, different time frames, right? But I set it just 100 bars to the right, and this is what it's gonna do. See, now you can project, oh, okay, like there's all this space, right? So you know when I'm like drawing trend lines or trying to figure out what's gonna happen next day, next week, next quarter, this will allow you to give you some room to project. Then I'm gonna go to this, the D, where it says time frame setup. So the standard setup is 1 minute, 5 minute, 15. Okay, so here's the standard setup, but you can customize it, right? By going to here. And for me personally, I like seeing it by quarterly earnings because that's how I trade. So you should set your time frames based on what fits your trading edge. And it's good to always have long term so that you know the whole range of where your position or stock or the market is capable of within a certain time frame. So what I do is, okay, so you can add time frame, right? And you could copy mine if you want. So I put, okay, so I want to see 1 day and I want 5 minutes for the same day. And I don't really need 10 days. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to keep my 20 days, 1 hour. But I'm also going to add months, which is 90 days, and also 1 hour, and then add. Then I'm going to add. Reason for 6 months is that's 2 earnings quarters, right? And I want to see it on the daily. So day. Then I want to see the 1 year daily. Then I want to see the 3 year weekly, right? And then I also want to see 10 year on a weekly time frame. And then I also want to see max. So we're going to put the max available and then on a monthly time frame. So now I have all the time frames that I need. You could always add more. Depending what you need, you could add or subtract whatever you need. And then you go to, okay, apply. And okay, right? So now all your time frames are there. So now we're like starting to get set up, right? Like, okay, I have my volume, I have my RSI, right? And then I have my chart set up where I can see the future. And then, so the next thing that you can do is, okay, what are these bars, right? Or what are all of these? So if you like your set right here, you just go to studies and then save study set once it's done, right? So save. So I'm gonna put main chart setup, and then we'll save it. And then over here, right? So I'll put in Apple again, let's say. And look, they're all showing like that, right? So I go to studies and load study set and main chart setup, right? Look, it pops up. So that's right there. And then you're gonna have to reset this again to 100. Okay. And so you just do that over and over. So let's say, okay, I want to look at SPY, NVIDIA, right? And then do it again. So you look at studies, load study set, and then main chart setup. And how about we look at Microsoft, right? Okay, so we're gonna just keep repeating what we just did. And over here, right, this is if you want to add another one. And then this is if you want to subtract. See this cross? And then if you want to add one on the bottom, right, or you take that out. So over here, let's say we want to add another one on the side. So it's going to add another one for you and then add another one for you, right? So now we have, okay, 6 equal boxes, right? So say you just like put in whatever you want. Okay, so actually I would put SPX and then maybe VIX, right? We want to see SPY and then trade. We want to see SPY, trade SPX, and gauge volatility through the VIX, right? So we're going to keep all these studies the way it is. And after you finish all this, see this here? You have to, so when you go to these like show grid actions, you can go to customize grid and uncheck the box. So now all those boxes are done. When you want to add more boxes or you don't want to add more boxes, you can add or customize, right? So once you're done with that, you go to save flexible grid as, and then you could save it as, okay, so for me, for this one, I would say 6 chart mega caps. Once you come here, you can save your 6 charts. Say you want to have it always set where, okay, you have another set where it's a different time frame. So, you know, when your market's opening and you want to just kind of get like a shorter term view of everything, it's good to see it on maybe like a 20-day hourly time frame, right? When the market, before the market opens, so you can start kind of like gauging, okay, where is the market at? Oops, 20-day. So then you can save this again as, so then you don't have to go back and forth between the time frames. So save flexible grid as Heart Mega Caps hourly time frame, right? So now we have it on the hourly time frame, and from there, see, so now it comes out like this. So another study that I would suggest is if you use an indicator called daily high-low. So you can put that in edit studies, right? Daily high-low. This is really good for maybe beginners, right? Because it's going to help you gauge, hey, where was yesterday's price? What's the average price going into tomorrow? So I'll show you how this works. So you put this directly onto your chart, right? And so we'll do this for here. So edit daily high-low. So we're going to add it again, maybe. Add still selected. And then we'll just save as set. And we'll keep it in the same one. Main chart setup. Save. Okay. Right. And look what it did. So this was the daily high-low. And then, so it's going to tell you, okay, what does the future look like? You don't know because you can't see it here. So you have to adjust your setting again. $100. And then now it's going to tell you, okay, look, tomorrow it might do this, right? Does this make sense? So look, it usually projects to you tomorrow what it might do. And it's a good guide to help you to kind of gauge like daily high-low support or resistance. And it's majority of the time, because it uses like an average move, it helps you with determining, okay, are we kind of at the resistance for that week, or are we at the support, right? So it's going to really help you control your I guess emotions in when to sell or take profits, or when you're gonna see a support area, so that maybe you don't sell when you're not supposed to, right? Okay, so I would definitely recommend using this indicator, especially if you're new and you're trying to gauge how the market moves on a daily basis, right? And after you set this up, make sure save everything. Okay, you can go to save flexible grid as. So now you already set this up again, so save, and then you can overwrite that because I made a couple adjustments. So okay, so save that, right? And then after that, what you can do is over here, right? Now when you're on the platform, what about what the options look like, right? So you want to set up your options chart also. What I do is, okay, so I right click and it's going to tell you all these things, right? You can buy any of the spreads. You can sell any of those spreads again. Buy custom, sell custom, Okay, create an alert, analyze. But over here, most people don't know how to look at the options chart. So many people, they get stopped out or they don't know where the options are going, and options are scary to them because all they see is numbers, right? But if you see options like a chart, just like you're trading equities, then it's going to give you a good visual about how options kind of like you can pertain or relate it to that stock. So when you go to more info, right, from right clicking, more info, and then you go to quick chart right here, and then see this, how it pulls out. That quick chart is going to show right here. So we're going to go to, again, you can go to edit studies, right? So for right now, what I have on here, two things that I really recommend on your options chart is theoretical option price, and I'm going to talk about this in the next video, and daily high-low again, okay? And then you need open interest. That way you can see our buyers overall long-term buying or selling. Implied volatility, this usually shows up when the market moves. And then volume average, of course you want to see your green bars or not, right? This is, I would just say, at least the basics that you kind of need as an options trader. And then you can save, set as, and then okay. And then again here you have to expand your right chart settings, and then go to okay, and then now you can project, right? So how come, like, and then when you click on your left and then you want to zoom in, that's all you have to do, right? And then if you want to back out, minus again. So zoom in, and then if you want to isolate into a price, and then you just want to do this little box, and you just want to look here, right? And then look what the daily high-low is showing now for tomorrow. It's showing kind of like a same area, right? Look at from here, this day, into next day. So you can kind of use it as like a gauge of like the average area that your option or your stock even will go. So once you save that, then, and I'm going to teach you how to use theoretical value later. So then you have your charts set up, you have your options chain ready to go, you have this, right? And then when you want to detach, you can go here to these like triple lines, and then you could either load your current symbols that you have to your charts, you can clear all the symbols, or you can detach, right? So now you can move this, and then you can have another setup here, right? So put this on like a different monitor if you have a different monitor, and then look at a different chart. So I have another setup where I always look at 3 time frames. So my 3 time frame is really important because I have it on the short term 5 minutes so that I know my entry and exit. Then I have my 6-month time frame, right? So that I can see a 2-quarter move, right? I can kind of gauge in an instant, okay, how has the market been trading within 2 quarters, right? And then I want to see a 3-year pattern, because usually the market moves within 3-year consolidation and then like rally, and then 3 years, right? So I usually look at the 3-year first, 6 months, just as a standard, okay? So I hope everybody's been blessed. Make sure to share and like, subscribe. Now if you want to come learn more with me, you could come join me in SuperLuckeee.com and come to my community where I do a lot of mentorship. We have a lot of great strong traders, and you know, if you swim with the sharks, you're gonna become a shark. Bye, God bless you, and let's all make money together.